one cultural difference we fought about a lot during the first few years of marriage, and that was the ring. Shortly after getting married, my husband kept taking his wedding ring off. He would take it off to take a shower, to wash his hands, to sleep. Whenever he would do it, I would get so offended and complain that he should keep it on. Then he lost it. I was so angry. Where I'm from, the wedding ring is what shows others that you're married, and there's basically just two reasons to take it off. One, you're angry with your spouse and don't want to be married, or two, you want to cheat on your spouse with someone else. Here in Korea, on the other hand, men rarely wear the wedding ring after the first year of marriage. We got my husband a much cheaper replacement ring, and eventually he learned to keep it on all the time. Later, we learned that we are not the only international couple to have this argument. A friend of mine, who is also married to a Korean man, said that she and her husband used to fight about the exact same thing. I love Korean food, but I struggled with having rice so very often when I was living with my in-laws. I tried to explain that my body just wasn't used to so much rice and cabbage, but I don't know if they understood. The other problem was that my mother-in-law would leave the pot of soup out on the stove for up to 3 days without putting it in the fridge. She would say, "It's okay, 'cause it's winter." I could never understand why that made any difference because the heat is on in the winter. In the summer, she tried not to leave the soup out for more than 2 days, but I think she only did that because she knew it bothered me. Mother's cooking was delicious though, and I enjoyed the soup. I always enjoyed it on the first day that she made it. I also learned how to make many kinds of delicious food from her, but I always put mine in the fridge after the meal. Living with my in-laws also taught me that Korean culture truly allows for no such thing as personal space. They could just walk into our room at any time of the day. My brother-in-law used to go around the house sleeping in different beds on the weekends. There were a couple of times that I caught him sleeping in our bed. Fortunately, on both of these occasions, my husband was in the same room. They're identical twins. Can you imagine if my husband hadn't been there? I quickly made a rule that he was never to sleep in our bed. Perhaps the biggest disadvantage of international marriage is that you will always live apart from some of your family. If we were to live in the US, we wouldn't get to see Junsok's family as often. Since we live here in Korea, I don't get to see my family in America very much. I have 19 nieces and nephews who all live in the States, and I have to watch them grow up on Facebook. Not to mention that I only get to talk with my family once a week through Skype. It's the saddest part of international marriage. If you have the blessing of living close to your family, don't take it for granted. Spend time with them and enjoy it.